So, Ball from 1981. This is one of those ones that I think that a lot of you might have forgotten about. It's relatively underplayed in the education unit, but it's very easy to understand if you understand what streaming and setting is in education and what mixed ability is. So if you're not too sure about either of those things, being setting and streaming or mixed ability, then have a look back at your notes or even the textbook if you want to borrow one, or just ask me. I'm more than happy to explain that to you. But basically, Ball did a 3-year piece of field work, obviously observing at a comprehensive school in the 80s. And what he was looking to find out was what the effects of mixed ability were against what the effects of streaming were. Okay, the effects on people's experience and people's achievement in education. So if we have a quick look, obviously this is a very sort of brief overview of what the study's about. But basically, students in the first year of their time at secondary school were placed in one of 3 bands. Okay, so this is talking about streaming here. Band 1 being the most able, so the high ability students, and band 3 being the least able, band 2 being somewhere in the middle. He compared the performance of these pupils with another cohort who were basically being taught through mixed ability teaching. Okay, and he observed that when students arrived at school, okay, they were sort of keen and sort of happy, like really ready to go, basically, sort of keen to do it. But then gradually their behaviour got worse. So if you observe the little year sevens walking around school with a gleam in their eye and sort of keen to get to their next lesson with their full pencil cases and massive bags, that's them. Okay, they're keen and eager, conformist, and sort of willing to do pretty much anything. And then we get to you guys who are evil and sort of weathered from the from the effects of education. Not really, but that's the gist of it. Okay, they lose that enthusiasm for education over time because of this streaming service that education seems to provide. When I say streaming, don't get it confused with things like Netflix. That's not what I'm talking about. So if we look at some descriptions of each of the children, hopefully this sheet is in front of you as I'm speaking. Okay, you've obviously got the band 1 child. These are some direct quotes. Okay, they have academic potential. They know what the teacher wants. They can concentrate, and they're definitely grammar school material. So you can imagine them sort of most of these lower band students, probably call them SWATs, if anything. But band 2, moving on, is not necessarily as interested in schoolwork. They're lazy, immature, often forget their books, and basically lack concentration. Okay, so not half as good as the band 1 kids. And then finally we have the band 3. We have they're unfortunate, low ability, anti-school, emotionally unstable, and moreover a waste of time. And these are direct quotes from teachers, so rather worrying, I'm sure you'll agree. So what we can conclude from this study is that basically the effects of streaming can be very detrimental to a student's progress. It can make students fatalistic and basically cause their behavior to become a lot worse. Okay, if they're treated like these guys are treated at the bottom, then they're not going to be positive about education, are they? Equally, we can link it to labeling, I should say, and the damaging self-fulfilling prophecy. Remember, try and use these key words, which is thrust upon students when they are labeled as a band 3 kid. Okay, so they're labeled as a failure. They're labeled as unfortunate, low ability, anti-school, pretty much as soon as they walk in the school gates. Okay, and that's never going to have a positive effect. Okay, so don't forget to try and use those labeling and self-fulfilling prophecy keywords, as well as talking about setting and streaming and mixed ability when you talk about this study. So hopefully that has provided a bit of an overview of what this study is about. Okay, there's many ways that we can evaluate it. Okay, the main one being that schooling has changed quite a lot since the 80s. And streaming is virtually extinct. I say virtually. And it's no longer really seen as the main way of educating. But equally, well worth knowing. Okay, do try and use this in your essays. Thanks, guys.